as a Khalsa Panth wherever we go. And I think this is a great topic. I would like to request Bhai Vijay Singh ji to please share his thoughts, and post that we will take questions and answer from Sangat. Over to Bhai Vijay Singh ji.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਭਾਈ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ I just want to start off by thanking the Sevadars for organizing this program even in the midst of this pandemic that we still have opportunities where we can come together as a sangat and we can share our vichar with each other. I also want to obviously thank the Sangatam for taking time out for out of their busy lives to hear Guru Sahib's vichara and obviously Tan Tan Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, who's blessed this Kira with the opportunity to get the blessings of the Sangat. So thanks, unlimited thanks to Guru Granth Sahib Ji for this wonderful blessing. This is just like Viji just said. This is kind of something which we kind of take for granted. This kind of topic as Sikh ambassadors, and. What this is basically, this is a collection of my thoughts and stories that I've heard, that I've personally experienced, and so it's going to be quite light-hearted to a certain extent. It's not no kind of formal things, but at the same time, I suppose Guru's Kirpa, I've been able to do Sangat with quite a lot of elder Gursik, and I've been able to get on. I talk to them, and I have opportunities to discuss with them, and Guru Sahib di Kirpa de naal, I can ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਕਾਫੀ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਮਿਲੀ ਆ. So I just wanted to oh sorry um so I just wanted to mention that at the beginning. Now, just the other thing is that this vichar does come with a bit of a disclaimer. So some people, they may find the vichar quite deep and strongly worded, and the aim is really is to get you to think. So I want you ਥੋੜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰੋ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਸਾਂਝੀਆਂ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ the vicharan that I'm going to share with you. I just want you to do vichar of that, think and contemplate on that in your minds. And the stories, or suppose the vichar necessarily isn't targeted at one individual, but it may apply to many of us. So this vichar ਸਾਰੇ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਇਹ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਟੁੱਕਦੀ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ. So I just want maybe just have a think about that. And so just like in Gurbani, there's this Pangati. It says, Parthai Sakhi Mahapurkh Bolde, Sanji Sagla Jahane. So, just like Guru Nanak Dev Ji, when he used to talk to the Siddhs, or he used to talk to the Mullah, or he used to talk to the Qazis, or he used to talk to all these different Hindu, Muslim, spiritual people. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji has then recited those conversations essentially in Gurbani. And when Guru Sahib has had those conversations, when he's given sikhya to those, the Qaji, the Mullah, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋਚੀਏ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸਿਰਫ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਆ. ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੱਸੇ ਪਰਥਾਈ ਸਾਖੀ ਮਹਾਪੁਰਖ ਬੋਲਦੇ ਸਾਂਝੀ ਸਗਲ ਜਹਾਨੇ. That is relevant to us. All those ਸਾਖੀਆਂ, all those ਵਿਚਾਰਾਂ that they also ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਟੁਕਦੀਆਂ. So I think that's very important that we realize this, that and I'm going to talk about this a little bit as we go on also. But what I want to do is I want to start off by asking just a few questions. Now, I don't need any responses to these questions, but I just want you to think about these questions. Just think deeply about these questions. Okay. So the first question I want to ask you is this. Sorry, I just moved this out of the way. So if Guru Sahib is the knower of everything with unbound foresight, so they have so much foresight, did they not know that the face of terrorism in our lifetime would be a turbaned, bearded man who looks more like a Sikh than a member of his own religion? So, did Guru Sahib not know that? So, I just want to think about that. Okay, the second question. If Guru Sahib is the knower of everything with unbound foresight, did they not realize we would have problems wearing our karpan, taking them on planes or into public buildings, and we would be challenged on its relevance today? So did Guru Sahib not know that? Third question. If Guru Sahib is the knower of everything with unbound foresight, did they not know that the whole world would have different fashions, different lifestyles, makeup, and a clear image of beauty? And a Sikh would be seen by many as being plain and outdated. Okay. And the last question. If Guru Sahib is the know of everything with unbound foresight, did they not realize that our children would look different in schools with their patka, with their dastar, and be bullied for their, and many would be bullied for their appearance? So did Guru Sahib not know that? So these are just four questions. I just want you to think about these, and then we're going to look into these in a moment. Okay. So Khalsa ambassador. Now, I did this talk, similar talk to this in a Gurdwara in the UK. And when we essentially look at an ambassador, as an ambassador, you are representing something. So when you call yourself a Sikh, then you are a representative of the Guru. Okay, when you call yourself a Sikh, you're a representative to the Guru, and that comes with a massive, massive responsibility. We all have a massive responsibility on our head. And just like Veerji said that we can't hide because of our appearance. And the massive responsibility that we have is that whatever actions we do, people will connect those actions with that directly to our Guru Sahibs. And so, if, for example, if we're seeing Pagbanake, we're drinking sharab, the people are going to say, Inada Guru bhi idda da hona si, Inada Guru bhi, their Guru maybe even allows them to do this. It must be part of their religion. So think about that responsibility. When we do other things, when people do things like Sikhi soup, which they're doing other bad things, people will look at them and say, oh, maybe they're allowed to do that in their religion. Maybe that their guru used to do that. This is a massive responsibility that we have on our heads. And in this world that we have, essentially in this world you're judged whether you're high or low based on things like education, money, your job, your status, these kind of things. But in Guru's eyes, you're only judged on your actions, and we use Gurbani as a guide for those actions. Okay, Gurbani is our guide for what our actions should be like. So let's take one example. A person, or they do part, but they also do chut bolana. Okay, so part pade mukh jhutho bole ne gure कीमत e. So what does Guru Sahib say about that? Ek paase you do part, next side you do jhoot bolna. You tell lies. Guru Sahib kenda eta ne guraya. That person has no guru. Okay, ne gure कीमत e. Okay, that is the mata, that is the way of the Nagura person. Okay, now in that shab, the Guru Sahib may have been talking to the sannyasi there, to the Hindu renunciate, but at the same time, like I said before, Sanji Sagla Jahane, all these, when Guru Sahib has been talking to all these people from the past, then they all apply to us. Now, I just want to take you out from this in a moment, because I'm going to go back into those four questions. I'm going to come back to those four questions in a moment. But obviously, you guys in America also, and us in UK, we've been experiencing winter, and one thing you see in winter is obviously the leaves. The trees, they lose their leaves. So what you see is that you see these buds. So these buds, they stay on the trees. Okay, now these buds, they go through so much difficulty. They go through all the different rain, all the different wind, the snow, all these terrible, terrible conditions, and they're so determined that they want to blossom, that they go through all these things, and they still in the end they blossom. The bud is so determined to blossom, and it wants to share its fragrance. And those of you that have read Guru Nanak Chamatkar by Veer Singh, this is what he said about Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, he starts off talking about Guru Nanak Dev Ji like this. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was like that bud, that seed that was so determined to blossom, so determined to share their fragrance with the world, that they were willing to bear the brunt of so much difficulty. They're willing to face so much difficulty, and and blossom and share their fragrance with the world, share their sikha with the world. And one other tribute I want to place or give to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Sahibs, is that Guru Sahib saw the gun in everyone. Guru Sahib would see a shrabi man, and say to his Sikh, look at the gun in that person, look at the gun, and look at the qualities in that shrabi banda, and you think, what qualities has that person got? That person, din raat, that person thinks about shrab. That person is shrab to bina reh nahi sakda. And Gurbani says, bin nawe mar jaiye mere thakur jo amali amal lubana. Guru Sahib says to us, jidda ek shrabi ya, they die if they don't get shrab. They die. Idan, this is how we need to be with Naam and Gurbani. Okay, so Guru Sahib saw that in that those gun in the even the in the Shrabi person. Okay, so I just wanted to say that this is the kind of, I suppose, the legacy that we're part of. We're part of this wonderful legacy of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Now, I just want to uh, the questions that I asked you at the beginning, they all link back to this. Okay, they all link back to this Sakhi. Okay, Ujjar jao vasde raho. So can I just someone as a, if you can share raise your hand who can tell us this Sakhi very briefly. You can just talk to us. So if someone could raise their hand, maybe you could share what this Sakhi is about. Anyone? Okay, Hanji, Divjot Singh ji, if you want to share, unmute yourself and share what this Sakhi is about.
Sandeep ji, I think this Saki relates to when, yes, I think जो गुरु साहब किसी ਦੇ ਘਰ ਲੰਗਰ ਛਕਣ ਗਏ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੇਵਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਸ ਪਿੰਡ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਨੇ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਰਲ ਕੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਲੰਗਰ ਛਕਾਇਆ, ਬੜੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਲੰਗਰ ਛਕਾਇਆ। ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਪਦੇਸ਼ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਜੜ ਜਾਓ। ਉਹ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਰਹਿ ਗਏ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਿੰਡ ਵਾਲੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕੀਤੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਹੁਕਮ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਉੱਜੜ ਜਾਓ। ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬੈਕਗਰਾਉਂਡ ਸੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ, ਬੈਕਗਰਾਉਂਡ ਇਹ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਜੜ ਜਾਓ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਰਗੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਹਾਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ। ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇੰਨੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਨ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਭਲਾ ਕਰਨ, ਆਪਣੀ ਸੱਚੀ ਸੁੱਚੀ ਕਿਰਤ ਕਰਨ, ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਵਾਟ ਵਰਲਡ ਨੀਡਸ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਨਾ ਵਸੇ ਰਹੋ, ਸਾਰੇ ਉੱਜੜ ਜਾਓ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਹਰ ਪਾਸੇ ਖੁਸ਼ਹਾਲੀ ਹੋਵੇ, ਹਰ ਪਾਸੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਰਗੇ ਜੀਵ ਹੋਣ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਨ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਸੱਚੀ ਸੁੱਚੀ ਕਿਰਤ ਕਰਨ। ਵੀਰ ਜੀ, ਯੂ ਆਰ ਔਨ ਮਿਊਟ, ਸੌਰੀ।
Sorry, and the Vasde Rao bit, Virji?
ਐਨ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਸੀਗੇ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨਾਲ ਲੜਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਨਮੁਖੀ ਜੀਵਨ ਜੀਂਦੇ ਸੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਰਹੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਜੜੋ ਨਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਰਹੋ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਫ੍ਰੈਗਰੈਂਸ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਰਹੇ, ਉਹ ਬਾਹਰ ਨਾ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਏ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹਦਾ ਇੰਪੈਕਟ ਕਿਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ।
Hanji, thank you very much, Virji. So the concept here was that Guru Sahib used these phrases, and they were there to essentially shock, because Vaste Raho, you'd say that to someone to as a blessing, like, you know, as a positive thing. And Ujjar Jao, you'd say that as a negative thing. So Guru Sahib used these words, but they essentially, when people initially heard that, they thought they were very confused. But just as Vijay said that, Guru Sahib wanted them to become, as opposed to stay at home Sikhs, Guru wanted them to become get out Sikhs. Okay? Get out of your houses and start to share Sikhi. Start to share who you are. Start to share Asroop kyon tusi rakhya. And this is the answer to these 4 questions that I gave you. Guru Sahib don't want us to stay sitting at home Sikh with tusi or the ਜੋ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ fragrance ਹੈ, ਜੋ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਗੁਣ ਆ, Guru Sahib wants us to share those with the world. And that's why, like I say, in these 4 questions, we've had these different situations that we face with, because Guru Sahib wants us to get out of our homes and ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਕਰੋ. Go share Sikhi with the world. So no one can say that we don't know who Sikhs are, we don't know why they dress in the way. And one thing I just want to share at this point is that when we leave this world and we face Guru Sahib will ask us, "Tu kere karam kamaya? Ke karam kamaya?" And we may say to Guru Sahib, "Oh, I read so much Bani, I did Naam Jap, I did Kirtan, मैं अमृत वेला संभालिया, मैं अखंड पाठ कीता, मैं सहज पाठ कीता." And Guru will say, "Acha, that's very wonderful, wonderful, very nice, very nice. But it teri personal jeevanya. That's your personal life. That you've done these things for your personal development." I consider Jimmy Khalsa Panthya, Khalsa Meri Jaan Ki Jaan. It's more, it's my life, my Khalsa, my everything. And I say to you, Panth vas jave, pa main ujjar jawa pave, main ujjar jawa pa mera Panth vasta rave. May I leave whatever, but may my Panth sada reside. And I ask you, what have you done for the Panth? Okay, so Guru Sahib will ask us, what have we done for the Panth? Tiga, we do all these things for, we do Nitnem, we do Amrit Vela, we do these things. What have we actually done for the Panth? And this is the key thing that I want us to focus on now because we have a big responsibility. What can we do for the Panth? Okay, so I want to just ask you a few questions again. You don't have to answer these, but just have a think about these questions and just think about, contemplate them. Okay. So, how do you think people feel when they meet you for the first time? Okay, have a think about that. How do you think people feel when they meet you for the first time? What would you want people to remember about you when they leave? So, when they meet you or when they spend time with you, what would you want them to remember about you when they leave? And last question here, what will affect this? What will affect the, the impression that you leave on them? Okay, what will affect how they feel when they leave you? Okay, and finally, just the last point: when you meet a good Sikh, what feeling should you be left with? Very, very important, deep questions. Have a think about these. What feeling should be left with? Now, I want to just share some examples from my personal experience. I remember when I was first coming to Sikhi, I went to work, and my first day in my new job, and I was newly into Sikhi. It was the first time I ever wore the star to my work, because I used to be a haircut before. And Guru blessed me with to keep my case, and Guru blessed me with the star. And I wore it to work. I wasn't Amritari or nothing. I wore it to work first day. And this Singh come up to me, and I thought, oh, there's Singhs here. Oh, that's great. There's good Sikh that actually work with me. And the Singh came up to me and he said, oh, Gada Singh, theek hai? I said, yeah, good. Oh, how long you worked here? I was, but I see that I saw another Singh, and he said to me, oh, that woman in your department. Oh, I want to ask her out. She's like really good looking and everything. She's really, and I thought, huh? That's strange. Dade bolte hai? And I was very straight. I found it really, really strange. And I remember on my first or second day, um, my boss said to me, "Oh, we're all going to go to the pub at lunchtime. Do you want to come?" And I said, "Oh, I don't go to pub." I said, well, "Sikhs don't go to pubs." And I said, "Huh? What do you mean Sikhs don't go to pubs?" Because the person who you replaced, he was also a Sikh. He just looked like you, and he was the one organizing the pub trips. He was one organizing the pub trips. So I don't understand. This, are you guys part of the same religion, or So think about the impression that you leave with people about Sikh. And remember, Sikh ambassador, you're responsible to your guru. And the impact of your actions. I just want to share this one thing. I've shared this story many, many, many times. I just want to share the impact of your actions. I remember when I was younger, I was in a car, my dad was driving the car. And we were driving on the highway, and we call it motorway in England. We were driving on the highway, and there was all these trees on the sides of the highway, all these trees. And on the side of the highway, I saw they usually have very thick leaf trees, very thick leaves, and they have them because obviously it blocks the sound, it purifies the air with the leaves. And I saw an apple tree there on the highway. I thought, who would plant an apple tree on the highway? That's the most strangest thing ever. And I asked my dad, I said, look, there's actually people had stopped off on the side of the road and they're picking the apples off the tree. And I think, why would someone plant an apple tree there? And my dad said to me, maybe about 15, 20 years earlier, what happened, somebody was eating an apple and they threw it out. They threw it out the window, and the apple, the seeds, went into the ground, and then the apple tree grew. Okay, now the message that you can get here is that the little things that you do has a long, long impact. Okay, that can have a massive impact on other people. Okay, the small things that you do, maybe even without thinking, they can have a massive impact on other people. I remember I work as a lecturer, and I had my new class arrive, and I just kind of getting to know them. There was one of the women in my class, because I teach sort of so I'm a company trainer. I teach people that are in work, and we started talking, and she said, I remember I went to a Sikhi camp once. Last Sikhi camp I ever went to, and I remember the woman said one thing, and one thing that stuck with me for 10 years. I remember it still now. I still remember that one thing 10 years ago. So people will remember things that you say. People will remember things that you do, and they will especially remember those things if you look the way you do. If you look like a Gursik, because they will remember those experiences that you have with you. So it's very careful. You need to be very careful. Just with that, Gurbani gives us um, this metaphor, or this kind of, I suppose it's a metaphor we could use. And it's between the swan and, oh, you can see here, and the crane. So the swan and the crane. Guru Sahib talks about like the Hans and the Bagala. So you see on the left hand side, you hear the Bagala, the crane or the heron. And on the right hand side, you have the swan. Now, sometimes the heron, it tries to impersonate the swan, tries to, but it has very bad intentions. And I remember, I remember I was first coming into Sikhi, and I went to the Sikhi camp, and I saw a singer there, and I saw he had a big damala, and I was so like excited. I wanted to talk to him. Even when I was sitting there, I thought I want to speak to that singer. Look, he's got bana and he's got a damala, and I went up to him, and I went up to him, and I thought, under chasi, had a lot of excitement that I went. "Main jaane wada Hans hai ta main kiya sang." I thought that this person's a great swan. I can learn so much from that person. I want to speak to them. But then when I spoke to them, they was in the Gurdwara, they were swearing, they were talking bad about people, they were doing Nindia, and I thought, huh? This is straight. Gursikh idda de bolte, dastar ban ke. If I had have known he was like that, je jana bag bapda. If I had have known they were just they look like a swan, but they're not really. If I had have known that, I wouldn't went anywhere near them. Janamna de young, I wouldn't went anywhere near them. So this is why it's very, very important. It should be that your actions and your sroop, andar bar should be the same. Okay, andar bar should be the same. It's very important. I'm going to kind of talk about that. And one example I just wanted to share, I was looking at this wonderful shab. There's a Gursikh should be guided, should be the one guiding others. Okay, should be the one. And I came across this shab the other day. Um, Mat Jano Shag Alipa Sri Ragada Shabd. It's a wonderful Shabd. And Guru Sahib talks about how you've got this frog. Now, the frog, he talks about, so you can see the line here, Batana Chikoro, Ihomana Midako. So, just like the mud here is like Maya. The mud is like doing bad things, yeah? And the frog is like the mind. Okay, so this frog is like just getting all libria with all the chikkad. It just loves getting in the chikkad. It loves absorbing all the mud on itself. Okay, just like our mind loves to kind of get engrossed in kind of maya and all this other, Panjajor loves getting engrossed. That's like the frog. But Jira Gursikh here, Gursikh's like the bumblebee. Paur ustad ne to pakhya bole. So Guru Sahib talks about how ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਆ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਕੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਬੰਬਲਬੀ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਰਸ ਪੀਂਦਾ the ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਉਹ ਰਸ ਪੀਂਦਾ and at the same time zzz ਕਰਕੇ he's teaching the frog saying ਤੂੰ ਵੀ ਰਸ ਪੀ ਲਾ why you in the chicken why you getting yourself dirty why you ruining yourself ਤੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਤੂੰ ਵੀ ਰਸ ਪੀ ਲਾ. And it's a wonderful concept how Guru Sahib used this metaphor. And this is what we should be seeing. Just like a Gursikh, they do their Nitnem, they do their Sikhi, they do their Barni, they do their Seva. It's not just about them doing it themselves. They should be sharing the wonderful, the benefits of doing these things with the world. Jire bande, gire bande ya, Maya na jure ya, just like this frog, they're liberated in Maya. Okay? They should be out there just saying to them, "Tuvi raspila, tuvi raspila." And this is how the way you can do this is through your own Gursikhi Jivan. And we'll kind of talk about that in a moment. But I just want to give a few notes here. So there used to be 5, but I've added another one as well. So 6 key reasons we can't move forward in our Sikhi. So think about these carefully. Okay, so I'm going to go through these. The first one is we treat our non-Sikh friends and work colleagues with more respect than other Sikhs. So we see Sikhs that maybe got different opinions to us. Maybe they don't believe in certain things that we believe in. We think that eta Sikhvaniya, eta Kushniya. You know, and we treat our work colleagues and our non-Sikh friends with more respect than we do the other Gursikh. You Guru Sahib da bachan a aage avat singh jo pawe Vaheguru ji ki fateh bulawe. When you see another Gursikh, you should do fateh to them. But kai Sikh or Sikh nu milke, they don't even feel that pyar. They don't even feel that. So they have more respect for work colleagues than they do or non-Sikh friends. I'm going to talk about this point a little bit later as well. We don't respect our parents or elders or appreciate them. Okay, one example of this. I'll talk about parents in a moment, but one certain thing about elders is that um, uh, uh, sometimes there's Siane Gursik that'll be they might live quite close to you, but no, we never go to see them. We never go to get sikya from them. We never go to maybe do sangat with them. We just forget that they exist. So we need to get that benefit from them. Okay. Okay, third one is we don't make time for the guru in our busy lives, and other things seem more important. So where do we prioritize Sikhi in our life priorities? Where is it? Is Sikhi behind after our work? Is Sikhi after our friends? Is Sikhi after our family? Where's Sikhi Katir? Where's Sikhi in our life priorities? Okay. Fourth, we are two different people. I'm going to talk about this as well. At home, we're different. Bisada Sabao is different. Our character is different at home, and our character is different at Sangat. At Sangat, we become oh nimarta wale, oh paisa, paisa, paisa. And at home, we're doing bad things or swearing or doing like bar jaake seva kar diya, and kar jaake they just sit down and don't do nothing at home. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as well. So the different in the car and different outside. And we say no or make excuses for seva even when we can do it. And the last one is we pick and choose seva, pick and choose the seva we do based on which make us look best. Now, I was talking to this elder Gursik, and like I said to you before, Guru Skirpa had an opportunity to speak to quite a few elder Gursik. And the elder Gursik said, I asked them, I go, Auntie ji, what's the difference between the Sikh that you see now, Jere Naujawan, and the Mahal that you see now in the Panth, and the Mahal that used to be maybe about 30 years ago? She said to me that one key difference she's noticed is that about 30 years ago, you used to see queues of Gursik wanted to do Pandyadi Seva. You used to see queues for Gursik wanted to do Joryadi Seva. Otte queue lage hunde si doing Langar Seva. But now you see queues for Gursik waiting up to get to the mic. You see queues of Gursik waiting to do Kirtan, waiting to do Tabla. That otte queue lagaya because they know that that Seva is the one that gives them, the the best look. It's the one that improves their status, amongst other people. So, this is a big difference that I've seen in the Panth. Now I know that obviously we have time limits, so I would like to have obviously get more of your contributions, but we have got time limits and we have got question answer at the end. So please do make a note of any. Please see now Guzkipa try to share what I can with him. So here's 6 reasons why we can't move forward or we have blocks in our Sikhi because of these things. Okay, right. So being an ambassador is in our values and in our actions. So being an ambassador. So one thing that we need to be aware of is upholding Gurmat when we're at work or when we're in society. Which are there, we need to be um, aware of upholding Gurmat and remembering. Just because you're hanging around with non-Gursik doesn't mean that you should forget Sikhi. Okay, remember you're different. Okay, and that difference is a blessing. Um, just on that, I just wanted to share this story. Um, so there was this Gyaniji that was telling this story, and the Gyaniji works in Germany. He works as a granti in Germany, and he's telling this story about a man. He says this man he arrived from India to Aya. He came from India and he came through an agent. Matlab, a black aya. He came illegally with another group of. There's about 20 of them. They came all together through an agent. They got this is many years ago. Okay, many years. So you don't need to go to like Interpol or anything now. So you don't need to worry about that. So this is many years ago. So this man came from India. His family sold off a lot of their jameen so they could get their son to go to Germany. And they obviously wanted him to go to Germany to work and send money back. When the son got to Germany, oh, Amartari go 60. Baki there was kind of other case study things there. There was some Morne there. So there's a mixture. And when he arrived in Germany, they took him to this place and they said, right, tomorrow is your first day at work. These agents they arranged work for them as well. Tomorrow is your first day at work, and they said, those of you that have the star and pagandari, you have to take it off because the boss doesn't like it. So you're not going to be able, we're not going to be able to take you into the workplace if you have a pagandari. So you have to take it off. And he started giving kenchi out to everyone that you have to take the star off everything. And the Singh Amritari Singh, he was thinking, what am I going to do? Think about this situation. Think about the dilemma that he was in. Okay, I don't think we can even comprehend how bad a situation this is. That Ekapase, he's given his uh, vada, he's given his promise, he's given his cease to Guru Gobind Singh Ji when he took Amrit, and his family have sold off everything so he can go and earn money for them. Oda hon buzurg hoye si. They're old now. The only way they can live is through his what he's sending back. That's why they sold of everything so he can go and work. Now he's faced with this dilemma that if I don't work, then my family's not going to be able to eat. If I don't work, then I won't be able to send any money home. Then how am I going to get home? I'm going to be here. Okay, can you imagine that dilemma that he had? So he was thinking and thinking, and then he did a ardas to Guru Sahib, and on mana bana liya that I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't turn my back on my Guru. I can't turn my back on my Guru. No, it doesn't matter what anyone says. I've made a promise. I gave my cease to Guru, and on Guru Sahib is cease tera, and thwadi jumewari is your now responsibility. Tusi manu, you can feed me. You can look after me. I'm yours. I'm yours. And what happened was, Baki they kamte chale gaye. They went to work, and he stayed at home because they refused to take him because he didn't cut his hair. So this happened for a few days, and then he sort of wandered around trying to find work, and he met someone, and they said that, oh, we can get you a cleaning job, but the only thing is you're cleaning toilets. Okay, we can get you a cleaning job where you're cleaning toilets in a hotel. Okay, so he said that, tan tan Guru Nanak, tusi meri laaj rakhi, and he went to that job and he began to cleaning toilets. One thing his bosses recognized straight away that this Singh, he he works very hard. TK is only cleaning toilets, but he works very, very hard. He's like cleans properly, Dara sa libreya hunda, everything is all dirty, but he makes sure he does a very, very good job. Okay. And one day he was cleaning the toilets in this hotel. And there was a Singh businessman who came to that hotel for a business meeting. He was a businessman in Frankfurt in Germany. The Singh businessman, he saw the other Singh cleaning the toilets, and he said, "Huh? What's this Singh doing? Singh cleaning toilets? Billy Galia, there's not even any Singhs here. Where's this Singh come from? Secondly, what's he doing cleaning toilets?" He went up to him, Fateh Balai Singh, the Singh who was cleaning the toilets, he together. And he said, and he only Fateh Balai, and he said, Singh, tu ki karda? And Singh was all libred up with all dirty, having doing his work. And he said, what are you doing here? And he said, this is what happened. I refused. I said, Guru Sahib ne kadi apne pit nahi de sakta Guru Sahib. And That Singh said, "Listen, I'm a committee member in Frankfurt Gurdwara." He goes, "Tanu kirtan aunda?" He goes, "Yeah, I've learned kirtan." He asked the man, he goes, "Do you know how to read part?" He goes, "Yeah, yeah, I've done Santhya. I've done Santhya of Gurban." He goes, "Okay, we're looking for a head Granthi in our Gurdwara in Frankfurt Gurdwara. Come with me. I'll take you home. I'll you can wear my clothes and you can stay. You can become our head Granthi because we're desperately looking for one." And from there, that person then became the head Granthi of Frankfurt Gurdwara, and his name was Gyani Makhan Singh, and he's the one who was telling the story. Remember, I said to you there's a Granthi that was telling the story? He's the one that was telling the story. What happened is Guru Di Kirpana, Byant Kirpana, the Gursikh, the Granthi ji, he started doing the seva there. Then Guru's Kirpa, they got his family to come over. They educated his children. His children became educated. They all settled in Germany. Then afterwards, ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਦੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਮੇਵਾਰੀਆਂ ਪੂਰੀਆਂ ਹੋ ਗਈਆਂ, then then he started doing free seva. He goes, "Look, Guru's given me everything. I don't need anything else." And think about the challenge that he had at the beginning, and think about where it ended up. Guru Sahib ne kitna odi laaj rakhi. It's unbelievable. Okay, it's amazing how far the depths, the lengths that Guru Sahib goes. Jithe kithe manu le chadaye. So Satguru Pyara mere naal hai, jithe kithe manu le chadaye. So this Gursip was not willing to compromise his principles, and Guru Sahib always looked after him at every point. Okay, so a second thing I wanted to share is it's very important for you to leave a positive impression with people who you meet. So when they see other Sikhs, then they will respect them. So very, very important, Galia. You leave a positive impression with people. I'll give you an example. I went to someone's house, their teacher. She said to me, "Paji, I've got a real big problem at school." I got the Suki, what's the problem? Said, "ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਆ, the kids there, they keep laughing at me, joking at me. This BB she wore the star. She was working in a very Gora area, lots of Gora there, and she said that the kids are making fun of me. The kids are speaking negatively about me. They're kind of making jokes about me, the way I look, and I don't know what to do. I don't know whether I should, because the school's not doing anything either. I don't know whether I should just leave, or I just don't know. I can't sleep at night. I'm so so ducky." And I said, "Listen, just like I said at the first questions, the first four questions I gave you, okay, people are going to see you as different." I said, "This is what you do. This was the holidays, so I said after the holidays you go back to school and you say to them that I want to hold an assembly with all the children, and I want to tell them about who I am, who Sikhs are, what we believe in, what the values of Sikhi are, why I look the way I do, and why I live the way I live, okay, and what I am, that I'm proud of who I am." She went back to school and she did that. She did the assembly. She did the assembly to the whole school, so she had to do it in parts because it's a big school. She did it in sections. And when I spoke to her after she'd done all the assemblies, she called me, and she said, "Baji, everything has changed. Everything has changed. Those kids, the kids that used to laugh at me in the corridors, the kids that used to make fun of me, now those kids, they bow their heads now with respect. Now those kids, they say, 'Miss, we loved your assembly. Miss, we really, really respect how you are, and we really respect your religion.'" This is the impact that your words can have. This is the impact this is the power that you have to take back control of these things. Okay. Now, I know there's a lot of things like bullying happening, but if you don't step up, then no one else is going to hold your hand with this. Guru Sahib's always with you, but you have to take ownership of your own situations. And one thing I just want to share as well, we had a camp, a Sikhi camp a couple of years ago, and a girl, she was about 14, 15. She said she's having the same problem at school, and I told her to do the same thing. I go, "Man, you do these, say to your school that you want to hold an assembly." And you know what, she didn't do it, and she's having the same problems, why is she having the same problems? Because she wasn't willing to do it. Okay. We need to be the ones become get out Sikhs. We need to become get out Sikhs, and Guru Sahib will look after us. Okay. Other ways that we can demonstrate being an ambassador through our values is having shukrana. Shukrana is a massive, massive thing. Being appreciative of everything, not just things that gifts that you receive. Well, everything's a gift. Okay, even having shukrana for the family that we have, having shukrana, being thankful for the wonderful opportunities that we have. Okay, so there's so many people out there that don't have those opportunities. Okay, we only need to see it when we've done homeless seva before, when we've seen people living on the streets that have nothing, and then we think to ourselves that we've got so much and feel भी ਅਸੀਂ ਸ਼ੁਕਰਾਨਾ भी नहीं करते. We look at our fridges. In our fridges ਫਰਿੱਜਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਭਰੀਆਂ ਪਈਆਂ, and we're still not appreciative. Now, just like Guru Sahib says in Sukhmani Sahib, das bastu le pache pave, ek bast kaan pe kot gawave. That we're willing to give up our faith for that one thing that we haven't got, then we're forgetting all the other gifts that Guru Sahib's given us. Okay, so shukrana is a very, very important part, and people will see your shukrana. People will see uh, part of your character. Say that, you know what, this person he's very content. He's very thankful for everything they got. Um, Inspiring others through your qualities of humility and sweetness. So inspiring others through the gun that you have through Gurbani, through Naam Simran, the gun that you get, you inspire others, because just when you're in society, जिन्होंने बाणी पढ़ी या those जिन्होंने अमृत वेले उठ के और अपना नित्यनेम कीता, अभ्यास कीता, सुखमनी साहब पढ़या, आसा की वार पढ़या, they go to school, they go to work, पढ़े पे हुंदे, पढ़े पे, they're full up. Naam Banya Rasnal Pare pe hunde, and then you know what? People can tell you, people can see at school, people can see at your work that eta pare pya. They can see that eta ko this person's different. Because that youth to sita rasanal par jante amrit villa, and then you go to work and people can tell the difference that this person, there's something special about that person. Okay. I'm wary of time, so accepting Guru's Spana. So obviously we can relate that Gyaniji story to that as well. Accepting Guru's Bana, and then जिथे भी सद मारिया दुखिया, फिर भी eh Guru Sahib asi eh daat samjhiye, and we all go through these situations, myself included, and we should see them as a gift. Okay, sharing Gurmat principles with people you come in contact with. Okay, I kind of mentioned that before. Sharing Gursikhi with other people. It's a very valuable thing, and obviously this is quite a prevalent thing at the moment. ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, the Gursikh Kisan that come together to protest against injustices. So where there's injustice, you speak out and you challenge. But ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਇੱਕ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਆ. You don't go out and then you doing hooliganism. I don't know if you guys know that term, but you don't go out and you compromise your principles, start attacking people for no purpose. There should be some control. Huh? There should be control. And the last thing I wanted to say in terms of this in this section is this: seeing that Guru is always with you. And as a wonderful story I heard, there's a Gursikh that I met, as an older Gursikh. He must be in his 80s now. And he was telling us when he first came into Sikhi 60 years ago, over 60 years ago. He's telling us about the story. And he said he first came into Sikhi, ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਬੜਾ ਸ਼ੌਂਕ ਸੀ. He's had a lot of shonk, had a lot of kind of enthusiasm for Sikhi. He was a Mona still. He still had a haircut, and he had a haircut underneath here, a dari cut, everything. But he used to like wearing the star. And he used to also like putting a khanda on as the start. Like I said, he shonks. He used to see older things, and he used to like that. Like I said, this is talking about 1960s or something. And he remembers, he told me the story, is once he tied the star, had a khanda on it, and he got a phone call from his friend. And his friend said, oh, we're just going to the pub. Do you want to come? And he said, oh, no, I don't want to drink. I don't want to drink. And they said to him, don't worry, do juice peeling. You just have juice. And he said, oh, okay, then I'll go. And then he ended up in the pub. He was sitting in the pub with the star on, khanda on. Tika, he was a dari katti, everything, you know what, chalo. But he's got the star and a khanda on. He said, I was sitting in the pub and I was drinking orange juice. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਆਲ ਦੁਆਲ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਸ਼ਰਾਬ ਪੀਂਦੇ ਸੀ, ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਉੱਥੇ orange juice ਪੀਂਦਾ ਸੀ. So ਚਲੋ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਗਲਤੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ, ਮੈਂ orange juice ਪੀਂਦਾ. And he said this one thing happened that changed me, and since then it's still I still remember it because I saw this man, or he was just a normal Punjabi man. He was coming. He walked up to me and he was crying. He was crying a rondasi because he was really, really crying. And I think that, why is this man coming up to me and crying? And he said, and the man came up to me and he said to me, "Tu sengya, tu dastar banneya, khanda laya, tu ithe ki karda hai? What are you doing in this pub? You got khanda and you got the star on. What are you doing in this pub?" And he goes, "Manu othe, I realized that what am I doing here? What am I doing sitting in this bar? What am I doing? I don't know. You guys don't call it pub in America. You call it bar. What am I doing sitting in this bar?" Okay. And then if it all, then he ran out, got up and ran home, and he goes, "Since then, I never ever, um, uh, um, uh, I made that commitment. I'm never ever going to go to that kind of place again, never." And Honta Bo Chardi Kala Gursekya, he's a proper kind of party Gursekya, like very old now, but he's very very highly respected Gursek in the UK. Okay, so I just want to share that, and just the last few things before we finish. I think there's a few questions might be. Sorry, I haven't really been keeping. Yeah, yeah, nearly. Just a couple of things left. That's it. Um, so in terms of seva, okay. So many of us have opportunities to do seva, but we may some of us may see seva as a burden. Oh, I want to do the, in our mind we're saying, no, I want to spend my time doing other things. I've got other things to do. I don't want to do, I don't want to take my time out doing this, whatever, seva. Um, then we wonder why we're not making progress in our Sikhi. Okay, so Jiri Sevaya, we need to recognize what Seva is. Okay, like I said, we're talking about ambassador of the Guru. The most beloved people to the Guru is the Sadh Sangat. Okay, the most beloved people to the Guru is the Sadh Sangat. And Guru Sahib will be very, very critical who they choose. On Guru Sahib ne Paji Devjot Singh ji nu eh jumewari diti hai that they're going to run this class. Guru Sahib is very, very critical who they give this seva to, who they chosen to do the seva, who they choose to serve their beloved Sahib Sangat. Okay, so when you do seva, Guru Sahib themselves are basically the ones that are doing the seva. Okay, and but Guru Sahib will choose you to look after their beloved Gursikh. Okay, and we do ardas to Guru Sahib. Please help us in our jivans. Please help us in our Sikhi. But then, um, but then, and we want to become better Gursikhs. But then, when we're given an opportunity to do that, then we back out and we refuse to do that seva. Okay, so let's start having more faith in Guru Sahib's judgment. I remember, I become quite lazy when it comes to seva as well. I remember there was a Sikhi camp that I was asked to go to, and I thought, oh, duh, there's not even hardly any Sikhs there. I don't even feel like I want to go. But I thought, Jalo, there's Sangat's asked, and I should really go. And then I went to that camp, and in the first day, in the first session, this 8, 9 year old girl came up to me. She said to me, she goes, Baji, Bhai Sahab, I'm loving the camp. I love the camp, and I want to become an Amritari Gursikh like you. I want to become a Gursikh like you, all you Sevadars that have come here. Oh, I'm so happy. This is the most wonderful experience. And I thought, you know what? This is Ithivich Sarakosha. This is why Guru Sahib wants us to do the seva, because there's blessed souls there that they just need a little bit. They just need a little bit, then they then they will become Gursikh, and then Guru Sahib will bless them. So last thing, just wanted to share. I'm not going to have much time to cover this, but last kind of thing I wanted to go through, I mentioned about a Gursikh's character is determined by how they behave in their family and how they behave at home. Okay, so that's very, very important. It shouldn't be that you're a different character at home, different character at work or outside. Okay, so how do we interact to our family? How do we behave with our family? How do we speak with them? Okay, is it that we just speak call out to them and ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਬਾਕੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਉਣੇ ਆ ਘਰ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਗਾਲਾਂ ਕੱਢਣੀਆਂ? Okay, what is that relationship like? How do we help our family out with household chores? Is it just that we go to Gurdwara and we do seva, or do we actually do seva at home as well? Okay, and how much do we listen to our family when they have our best interests at heart? Okay, so that's something very, very important to think about. And one thing I just wanted to share just before the end is Bhai Gurdas ji, right, has written a wonderful var about uh, people that if they treat their parents badly, and Bhai Gurdas ji's even called it. He's even named it about respecting parents. He's called it mapya de apakari de jap tap nefalhan. So if you do any jap tap that you do, any bhakti that you do, if you are disrespecting your parents or you're treating them badly, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਹ ਨਿਫਲਿਆ. So your worship, everything becomes worthless. So ਮਾਂ ਪਿਓ ਪਰ ਹਰ ਕਰੇ ਪੂਜ ਦੇਵੀ ਦੇਵਨਾ ਸੇਵਕ ਮਾਣੀ. So Guru Sahib says that, Bhai Gurdas ji says that if you treat your parents badly, all your part is wasted. If you treat your parents badly, all your seva is wasted. If you do treat your parents badly, you're considered as corrupt and ignorant. If you treat your parents badly, then you're not going to get out of the Janam Maradi Khed. Okay, so and they're never going to understand the Vaheguru or the Guru. So that line is Guru Parameswar Sar na Jani. So that's Var 37, Shabad 13. If you want to have a look at that, Ma Pyo Par Har Kare, and it says each line starts like that. So finally, just to end, I did have some more stories, but chalo, I haven't got that much time. Run out of time. Carrying on the legacy of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, you guys are the blessed Sikhs of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and I mean you're blessed. I was always a Sikh. I never used to follow this path before, but Guru chose us to be the custodians of their Sikhi. Guru Sahib chose us to be the custodians of their legacy, and this is the responsibility that we have. Guru Nanak Dev Ji never used to sit at home. Oh, Baal Jake, Bhai Gurdas Ji says that they had very, very hard conditions that they lived in. They could have lived as a king at home, like many of the Babbe do, live as a king in their dera. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Ret Akahar Kar, Roa Ki Guru Kari Vishai. Guru Nanak Dev Ji used to sleep on the streets. They used to sleep on the road just because they could share this Sikhi, share this fragrance with the world. And now this is your responsibility. You're going to become ambassadors of the Guru. You are the future of Sikhi, and without you, there's going to be no message because the message is in you. Guru Nanak Dev Ji has planted the message in you, and if you fail to deliver it, then that message will never get heard. Okay, so think about it, how you can share this message with the world, because just like this candle here, the idea that you won't lose anything by sharing that light with others. Okay, so just think about how you can share that Sikhi that you have with others. So I just wanted to leave you with that, because, like I said at the beginning, Guru Sahib has created this environment for us, which is encouraging us to leave our homes and tell people about the world. And I don't mean that you just pack your bags and go off. I mean that you are out there doing parchar of Sikhi, like many, many, many people are doing. Okay, and if you're just sitting at home, then you will get the same fal as you've always got. Okay, but it's our responsibility, remember, because Guru Sahib will ask us, what have you done for the panth? And this is where I see we should be able to show our mood to the Guru and say, Guru Sahib, this is what I've been able to do for your blessed panth. Okay, ji? Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. Sorry for any mistakes. Hanji,
Paisaji, we have like Q&A sessions as well.
Hanji,
Uh,
Hanji,
th-
Pastor, Hanji.
thank you, Paisaji, for your wonderful thoughts. Like, इतना सी motivate हो गए हैं होंगे हैं कि like we should be follow Gursik's path and we should be ready for seva.
Right.
So from your this workshop, I have like two questions which was asked to me like from few of the sangat. So I
Hanji,
just want to ask them. ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ like sometimes it happens like ਬੱਚੇ ਕਦੀ ਕਦੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਪੈਰੈਂਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਫਿੱਕਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲਣਾ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਵੀ but sometimes it happens like parents stop you to do seva or parents stop like ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈਗਾ and you know like this is the right thing and parents ਆਪਣੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਦੇ so what should a person do at that stage and second point is ਕਿ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ like we should be ready for the seva ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਵਗੈਰਾ so a Gursikh has said like your kamai also go into that like some part of it kamai also go with that so can you explain both of these things? Thank you.
Okay, so the first question, So if the parents are putting a restriction on you, I suppose that the most important thing, first of all, is recognizing why. Okay, because if it's they have genuine concerns that if you're just doing Sikhi, 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 and you're neglecting your prai and you're neglecting your future, then that's something that you maybe need to think about. You need to maybe address that, because that I've seen many Guru Sikh, they've been so much into Sikhi, and then they realize that, oh, you know what, I've neglected all my parai, and they're struggling to get jobs, and then they're sitting at home on benefits. I don't know how you guys have it in America, but so everybody, that's not how Gursikh should be. Gursikh should be an all-rounded individual. Okay, so sometimes parents may say things just so we can keep things in check, and I'm not a big fan of going 100 miles an hour in your Sikhi anyway. I've seen many people fall. This is a marathon, and sometimes you need to take stock of where you are. So if your parents are stopping you because they don't want you to follow Sikhi, that's a completely different thing. In that instant, then I would say that in your local community, maybe you need to get elder Gursikh to have a word with your parents, and that may impact the situation. But that is a bit of a difficult situation if your parents are they don't want you to follow Sikhi at all, and they think it's all negative. Sometimes in those situations it can be good to bring them into Sangat, or they can get them to meet Gursikh, and they can see that, oh, Gursikh are not anything, they're not aliens or anything. I remember when I first came into Sikkim, my parents were not very positive about it. But when they started seeing the change in me, in my character, through the Gurbani, through the Simran, then they started realizing, Acha, this is actually good for our child. This is actually good for him, because he's learning new things and he's becoming a better person. So sometimes we have to show them qualities to our parents for them to actually recognize it. In a whole way that, this is the worst case scenario, that parents can wind you up and you start talking bad to them, and they go, "तू कितना दा सिख रह गया, तू कितना दा सिख बन गया, just इतना पाठ करदा, तू दा फिर भी गाला काटदा." That's the worst situation to be in, because you have to be able to bite your tongue in those situations. But I would say you have a community around you, and collectively you try and support each other in those situations. But at the same times, don't ignore if your parents have genuine concerns that you're neglecting certain responsibilities. Don't forget that asadi seva jariya, it should start at home. So if we want to do seva out in the world, tu kar swar ke, show your mum that you're going to clean all the house. You're going to do every seva. Mum, tell me what seva I can do at home. Do every seva at home. Every seva, yeah, that's seva as well, because tusi sikhi di prachar karde hai in that. If and then that's when you're tayar to go out and do seva in the world. Okay. So the second question was about sorry, Vijay, the second question, I forgot about that one.
Haji Bhai Sir ji, it was like sometimes like some Gursikh says like ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਜਾਂ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, you go to someone house, you give your kamai, so you shouldn't be going for that. So sometimes something like that. So can you
Okay.
explore more on that?
Um. Uh,
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ
okay.
ਖਾਲਸਾ should be ready on that, ਕਿ
Hanji.
ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਵਾਸਤੇ ready ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ.
Yes. So, ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਕਮਾਈ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ. And the day when we start thinking that we got kamai, then we have nothing. Okay. When we need to realize that if we do ardas for someone, or their faith will go massive. And you know what, Guru Sanu vi par dena. We say asan loy loy pandar, jo kish paaya soe kabar. As Guru de pandar pare paya pare paya. Guru's pandar, Guru's treasures are full. Guru will fill us up in a second. Okay, so in our sochiye, oh, I'm going to keep my kamai to myself, and that, this is not a concept that we have. ਇਹ ਸੋਚੀਏ ਬਸ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਉਹ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਕਰ ਲੈਂਦਾ Guru's gonna go I'm very surprised that someone's asked that question that a person thinks that they got ਕਮਾਈ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋ ਕਮਾਈ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਮੈਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਕਮਾਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਣੀ ਇਹ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੋਚ that's completely wrong ਸਿੱਖੀ ਸੋਚ ਬੰਦੇ ਕੋ ਕੁਛ ਕਮਾਈ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ Guru Sahib's got everything. Guru Sahib's got everything. Guru Sahib can take away everything in a second, and Guru Sahib can fill you up in a second. So Guru Sikh is selfless. They're selfless in everything that they do because, oh, Guru de ban gaye, then you become everything. You know, if we start saying that, oh, I'm not going to go to I'm not going to do a dance for that person because I'm going to lose something. I'm not going to go to do seva at that place. No, no, that's completely wrong, Sorch. Okay, so it should be that think of yourself. You got nothing, and Guru Sahib's got everything. Guru Sahib ne sara kuch kar lena. You know. So, Hanji. So sorry if that was a bit strongly worded, but that's I think it's a bit of a wrong Sorch to have that we think that we can lose Kamai in those situations.
Thank you, Paisa. That's awesome. Like I know, like someone asked this question, so I have no answer, and like this discussion was happened like 2 days before. So
Mm.
thank you.
I would say just on that, VG, I'd just say like, look at the Sakhi of look at the situation of Bhai Bachittar Singh. You know when he battled the Mast Hathi and Duni Chand, Ota Balwara, see he was like 7 foot. He was stronger. He used to do muscle all the time, workout. You know, and Guru Sahib got a 4 for 8 banda. You know, Bhai Bachittar Singh to mast hathi nu uta deta hone with the barcha. So Guru Sahib is the one who does everything. When we do ardas, ena sochi we sada kuch ਘਾਟਾ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੈ. Guru Sahib is the one who's going to do it all. Guru Sahib api sara kuch ਨਿਭਾ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਕੰਮ. So that's very important. The was
Um,
see that concept.
yeah, from Sangat, anyone has any questions if they want to ask, they can unmute or they can raise their hand.
I would like to add what Pai Sahib ji said, especially in sharing our Sikhi values or sharing our spirituality. ਉੱਥੇ ਪੰਕਤੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, maybe it can help someone. ਖਾਵੋ ਖਰਚੋ ਰਲ ਮਿਲ ਭਾਈ,
Total
ਤੋੜ
ave.
ਨਾ ਆਵੇ ਵੱਧਦੋ ਜਾਈ।
हाँ.
ਸਿੱਖੀ ਐਸੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੈ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਖਰਚਾਂਗੇ, ਆਪਣੇ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨਾਲ, ਇਹ ਵੱਧਦੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ ਵੱਧਦੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ। ਲਾਈਕ
And Guru Sahib, PG, Guru Sahib was like ਕਾਲ ਖਾਏ ਕਿਛ ਹੱਥੋਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਰਾਹ ਪਛਾਣੇ ਸੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੁਛ you must be sharing, you must share with others. ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਫਰਜ਼ ਬਣਦਾ ਗੁਰਸਿੱਖ ਬਣ ਕੇ, you must be sharing with others.
right. Anyone has any questions? Please unmute yourself or you can share via chat box.
I just wanted to say, Viji, that I'm very Guru Sahib's blessed us all with this opportunity, but I'm very honored that that I'm part of this Gursikhi Panth, and I'm very always thankful to Guru Sahib because I remember what my life was before and I remember how Guru Sahib changed it. And I know I speak kind of quite with a lot of enthusiasm because I know where I was before and I know that this is Manta koi horn fikr nahi pya. I don't have any fikr now. Guru Sahib ne sare kaaj swar le. And this is where I suppose we need to try to see that, have that faith in Guru Sahib, that Guru Sahib, whenever we do any apralla, whatever we're going to do, we're going to do a school assembly, or we're going to talk to someone about Sikhi, or we're going to go out where the star for the first time, we have to realize that Guru Sahib sade naal hai, Guru Sahib is going to with us and they're never going to let us down. So we have to always realize that.
Great. Thank you so much, Virji. Just to sum up today's session, I think the key takeaways for me is look like a Khalsa, think like a Khalsa, and act like a Khalsa. Today's, we see we do have a Sikh outlook, but when it comes to our acts or about our soch, it's, we should introspect and think because we are the real ambassador of Sikhi. And ਸਾਡੀ ਦਿੱਖ ਸਾਡੀ ਸੋਚ ਤੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਵਿਹਾਰ ਬੜਾ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਜੀਵਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਵੀ ਤੇ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਾਡਾ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਰ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਸਿੱਖ ਵੀ ਆਲ ਆਰ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰਕਸ ਲਾਈਕ ਐਜ਼ ਯੂ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਐਂਡ ਅਸੀਂ ਲਾਈਕ ਦ ਸਾਖੀ ਵਿਚ ਯੂ ਸ਼ੇਅਰਡ ਵਿਦ ਅਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਉੱਜੜ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਇਟ ਇਜ਼ ਅਵਰ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸਿਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਟੂ ਸਪਰੈਡ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਥਰੂ ਸੇਵਾ and that is the I will say the seva of a panth when we do good acts or good deeds. Thank you so much, Virji, again
Thank
for
you,
today's
Pasavi.
session.
No problem.
And
Hope to have your darshan in the future as well sometime.
sure, Virji, sure. Thanks to all the Sangat who has attended today's session, and we will come up with a new session next week. Thank you very much. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa,
Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji
Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
ਫਤਿਹ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।